Hey, what's up guys, Biscuit Boy here, back with another Beyblade YouTube video. And first and foremost, I just want to quickly apologize about my schedule right now. My upload schedule has just been all over the place because I'm actually in Japan right now and I've just simply been occupied by tourism. And also, I'm still working on content, like trying to get footage of, like Beyblade hunting. I also recently won the new Valkyrie Beyblade that was on the Rare Bay Get battle. All in all, I still have some content on the way, so look forward to that. But getting back to the topic of this YouTube video, we'll be discussing how I became the Beyblade Intercontinental Champion and essentially what this means. So within my Beyblade community, we'd actually run a Hasbro exclusive tournament whereby the winner of that tournament would then become the current Intercontinental Champion. If you haven't seen that video, which I did upload on this channel, I'll leave a link in the description. You should go check it out. But at the end of that video, you'll see that Jack, or Wicked Soul, had actually won that. And he became the Intercontinental Champion at the time. By holding the title of champion, you actually gain this huge like WWE wrestling style belt. It's so cool. Shout out to Felix for making this whole thing. It was heavily inspired by WWE and just wrestling in general. Being the champion entails having to fight against an opponent every single week as long as they can provide what's known as a challenger's token. To gain a challenger's token, you have to place either first, second or third, and you have to be ranked within our community within the top 10. So even if you do happen to win a tournament, you place first, second or third, but you're outside of the top 10, like overall ranking, then you still can't gain a contender's token. It's only accessible to those who place first, second or third and are within that specific top 10 ranking. You only get one token per podium placement, which means that you can either hold on to that token and wait until there's somebody you actually want to challenge, or since there is actually a queue to challenge the current champion, you can basically just wait within the queue and you can just wait your turn and just challenge the champion as it is. But yeah, some people did actually decide to just hold on to them. I didn't do that. I just felt like I got shagged the whole time, bro. I swear, like I saw some people go multiple times in one go. I was just waiting like 2 months. I had this whole thing for like 2 months and I finally got to challenge somebody. I got to challenge Richard, as you'll see later in the video. And he's actually like, I think he's like second or first within our community, which is really cool because I mean, yeah, I play against him, I beat him, obviously. And, it's like that, bro. It's like that. Now that the basic rules have been established, let's get into the video. Yay! First of all, let's look at my team. I'm currently running Phoenix Wing at 160 Rush, Tyrannobeat 370 Point, finally Drumbuster 960 Low Rush. You can also take a look at Rich's team and all of his combos. My whole team, whilst not actually being comprised of Hasbro parts, all aligned with Hasbro released parts. And bro, just check out how cool my team looks. It's just black and red. I sent up my Phoenix Wing first and I just pocket his Drumbuster right off the bat. I then send out Tyrannobeat on a 370 Ratchet as it kind of benefits from that taller height, as Tyrannobeat's shape makes it really optimal for like that downward smash. But unfortunately this time he just blasts me right out the top of the stadium. For my final bay, I then proceed to send out my Drumbuster. And it's just not looking that good for me, man. Drumbuster is 50-50 most of the time, and I'm kind of losing so far, but it's okay, I can still make a comeback. We do a reshuffle, and I decide to send out my Tyrannobeat, and he ends up sending out his Wizard Rod, which is a little bit of a sticky matchup, only because whatever you put Wizard Rod on, it will just be an S-tier blade, regardless. In this instance, Richard's actually put it on point, I believe, and it's doing its job being a good balance type or attacker as it pockets me. At this point, I'm currently 5-2 down, and I actually had to lock in. Even Armani is just yelling at me in the background, and I send up my Drumbuster. I finally listened. It won me that 50-50 matchup, and I end up pocketing him, making the score 5-4. We then proceed to send out what is arguably both of our best Beyblades. I send up my Phoenix Wing, he sends out his Wizard Rod, and I think this might honestly be top 10 anime battles of all time, because I send up my Phoenix Wing, and his Wizard Rod, it tries to get me from behind, but then I clap back, I do the Uno reverse, and I extreme him, and I win the whole thing, and I'm finally the champion.
Shake hands, shake hands, shake hands. Oh, He broke the street, bro, he broke the street.
You actually don't understand how gassed this was, because every single time you open up the bbx.gg like website, first thing you see is just my profile there. It's like I had so much aura, bro. Every single time I walked into events, I was just him. Like, I had the belt on me. Everybody was like, yo, bro, you got the belt. And I would be like, hell yeah, bro. Of course I still have the belt, because you can't take it off me. Following this mindset and my first actual event being the champion, I actually had a rematch against Solical, because apparently in our previous matchup, he'd actually shrouded. And if you didn't know, a shroud is actually like a relaunch. This was only found out after the judge had officially ruled me the champion. So almost just like out of courtesy, I kind of just re-challenged Solical again, because I wanted like a clean win basically. Like, I didn't really want to take any free handouts. But unfortunately, I actually swapped out one of my parts. I'd actually changed to 970 on my Tyranno beat, which isn't even like officially released by Hasbro. And so I felt really bad, because I only found out after we'd finished the whole matchup. So technically, I wouldn't even count this match. But according to like the website, it does count as like an actual win. But it feels a little bit like, I don't know, like it's like such a minor fault to the point where it could be classified as a win, but at the same time, like, personally, I don't count it as a win. But nonetheless, we still played, and Richard is still a formidable opponent. And even in this matchup, like, I send out my Phoenix Wing, he sends out his Wizard Rod. It's almost just like a mirror of what happened in our first match. But because you can't always predict the outcome of a matchup, this could have been the scenario where Richard had actually outspun me and won the point, as opposed to me actually winning the belt. So it's just really interesting to see how seriously people can actually take this game, and how some people even view it as a sport, to the lengths that even small technicalities such as hitting the shroud can result in a DQ, or even the result in having to relaunch. But it's more about just upholding these rules that we have in place. But I actually think this adds to the credibility of Beyblade being seen as more like a sport, if not like an official sport, something akin to like a gear sport or even an esport. Like, even myself, I know I enjoy playing, I take this so seriously, but I definitely want to be on the top 5 like leaderboard, at least like top 5. Currently I'm ranked 4th, I believe. Yeah, but it's like, you know, you always play and people always talk about how much luck is involved, and I feel like with Beyblade, like, on the surface you might assume that there's a lot of luck involved, and you're not wrong to assume that, but I don't think that should undermine how much skill like is involved within the game. Maybe not so much in a Hasbro stadium with the same degree to a TT stadium, but don't get me wrong, the basics are still there. You still need the right skills. You need to learn like proper launch techniques, stance, even just like theory crafting itself. Like, you can't just come in using a mishmash of just like random parts, where you can, but the thing is, like, when you actually take time to actually put together a Beyblade that has like a good build, has like a good like synergy with all the parts, then it can actually improve your win rate. You have a higher chance of winning if you actually have like a better blade or something that you can just specialize in. Some people will have really bad Beyblades, and that's not to say that you can't win with it, because you most definitely can. There are some people at my locals, like this was one guy, he uses a rhino horn, and if you know Beyblades, you know that thing is just straight trash, man, but he makes it work. So it just makes me think that as long as you practice with those same bays in your team consistently, then you can minimize your chances of losing. So even though that there is more luck involved in a Hasbro stadium, I was still able to win because I utilized the techniques I've learned from TT practicing using my Phoenix Wing and my Tyranno beat, as well as make use of the gimmicky function of Hasbro, being that it is smaller. So I use Drum Buster so I can maximize my attack potential. Following from this victory, I'm now faced with another challenge against Lex Shaken, also known as Alex, my fellow Pinoy blader. We get this battle started by both throwing out Phoenix Wing, and bam, I hit him with the extreme dash and I win that matchup. Fun fact about Alex is that he actually won the belt prior to this before, so he's already had his time with the belt. So this matchup right here, this challenge, is for him to regain the belt again. But honestly, I like the sound of being champion, so I'm not going to let that title go easily. So my Tyranno beat comes and it pockets him, making me get the 5-0 lead. Now this one was a little bit confusing to watch in real time, because I sent out my Drum Buster, which is red. He sent out Tyranno beat, which is also red. So when I first saw this, initially I'd actually like internally celebrated because I thought I'd won, but I'd actually been pocketed. It's a reshuffle and we both send out our Phoenixes, so you know it's already going to be an explosive battle. I send out mine, he sends out his starts swirling around and he almost extremes me, but because I got the 160 ratchet, I actually hop back out. But then I ride the rail and I just like pocket myself. I'm sweating a little bit now because Alex is catching up, so if you can see right here, I'm tilting my Tyranno beat like crazy against his Wizard Rod because I'm trying to ratchet snipe him, which is very successful as I just burst him and I ended up winning. And I get to hold on to that title of being the champion. And this win, as well as the win against Solid Cow, contribute to my overall ranking as champion with 2 defenses. Now this next matchup is actually from the following week and it's against Baymac. However, Baymac isn't actually on the top 10 list, which brings me to elaborate on another way and how you can challenge the champion. One way you can challenge somebody without a contenders token is for the champion to actually challenge that individual. So in this case, I actually challenged Baymac to battle. I can't lie, I'm a little bit of a clout chasing demon because I just challenged him purely for the content and I just thought it'd be really cool. It's almost like a running joke between me and Baymac that I always beat him, but I'm not gonna lie, even here, like, he was actually giving me a run for my money. I don't actually always think that's the case. I do not think Baymac is an easy opponent. I repeat, I do not think he's an easy opponent. He gives me a run for my money. Like, even here, the cool coordination of my team being red and black can't even save me from being outspun by his Wizard Rod. And I'm currently using Drum Buster, and you know how it gets that heavy hit sometimes? Bro, it almost recoils me into the extreme pocket. That would have been so deadly for me. We go for a reshuffle and he sends out Pringle and I send out my Drum Buster again. And this is a very interesting matchup because they're both very recoily Beyblades. And I managed to just like hide up in that top pocket right there and then come down with a huge smash attack that sends him into the extreme zone. Dude, I don't even know how, but despite the small size of the Hasbro Stadium, which actually gives attack types the advantage against stamina types, he was using Wizard Rod and I was using my balance type, Tyranno beat, and I still, for the life of me, could just not pocket this guy or even extreme him. Like, that thing just kept evading attacks constantly. And if you know how Wizard Rod functions, you would know that it basically just waits to drain like the other Beyblade's stamina, and then eventually it just outspins the opponent, getting those easy 1-spin point finishes. But it's cool because I send out my black Phoenix and he sends out the red Phoenix. And bro, when I say this genuinely looks so cool because it's like the red and the black Phoenix, I don't know. To me, that just sounds like so much aura, so badass. I send mine out and I'm happy that I sent out my black Phoenix because this thing just never disappoints. I end up getting a spin finish on him and that wins me the game. This thing has just been winning me every single Hasbro matchup. It's insane. But the matches aren't done for me just yet because right on the same exact day, I had a back-to-back match against Gov, who was actually the first person to challenge me that day. This is actually just so unfortunate for me because me and Gov, like, when I say Gov is genuinely like my bogey, like, I can never win against this guy. I don't know how, I don't know what juju he puts on his Beyblades, but I swear, like, that thing, he always wins, and I don't get how. It's like he's got hacks or something. First thing this guy goes when he comes up to me, he doesn't even say hello or anything like that. He just flexes his broken hand, bro. I'm just like, get your dusty, stinky hand away from me. And then he proceeds to use that exact same hand to touch my Beyblade, touch his Beyblade. Makes me want to touch his Beyblades. Like, no, get that thing away from me. I genuinely think I just had my 15 minutes of fame because I think I've just fallen off so quickly. Because how am I losing to a crippled man, bro? This guy literally has bandages all over his hand. He's like Rock Lee with the training weights. Like, when he takes those bandages off, I swear, he's got like 15-pound like gauntlets on. And I'm generally not even trying to glaze, but this guy was actually just smoking me the whole time. Even on matchups where I think I'm going to win, like for instance here, I send out Drum Buster, he sends out Wizard Rod. Like, I was happy that he sent out Wizard Rod because I thought, you know, I'm just going to aim for that ratchet. I'm just going to snipe him right there. But no, he's going under me. Like, he's trying to ratchet snipe me. And even here, just like my Drum Buster just runs out of stamina and he just outspins me. It's like matchups like this. It's like, in theory, I feel like I should have the advantage considering it's a smaller stadium. I'm the attack type. But nah, this guy just always outspins me. And we go for a reshuffle and I send out my Phoenix Wing. And I kind of almost predicted that he would send out Wizard Rod. But the good thing about Phoenix Wing is that it's just like an ace attacker. This thing has never failed me before. And one thing to note here is that I believe Gov has really good placement. I kind of knew where he was going to try go for. I always kind of launch in a very, very similar manner. And I like to almost like reverse dash, but in this instance it didn't work. But it's still cool because since the stadium's a lot smaller, I can go around the extreme line and I still got the pocket on him. And finally, we use Tyranno beat versus Tyranno beat, but mine is on 370 point and I believe his is on rush or low rush. And when we play, it's quite hard to tell whose is who, but somebody's bit actually just like burst. And it turns out it was actually mine, so I ended up losing. But I'm not gonna lie, at first I started celebrating, like, because I genuinely thought I had won because we're both using the exact same blades. But nah, he won. But you know what? GG's to him. Even though he's crippled, somehow he still beat me. Good game to him.
Alright, what do you have to say? I'm lucky. A part of me is kind of relieved that I'm giving it away because I'm gonna go to Japan for like a month and I didn't want to hog it for like a whole month. So
I'm doing the people a
you know,
favor.
fair enough. If I have to lose to anyone, I'm happy I lost to the number one ranked.
Right, so...
That's okay. I'm okay with that.
You better get comfortable. Use this in the gym. I'm using this in the gym. I'm using this in the gym, boy.
That's insane. Gov, is there anything you want to say for the camera?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna defend this shit. I'm gonna defend this so hard. Unreal.
What?
Sadly, I actually did end up losing the belt to Gov. But honestly, it's not too bad because, like I said, I'm already in Japan. I'm here for like 4 weeks. So I honestly I'm kind of happy I lost it because I didn't really want to hold on to it for too long. I'm not coping, I swear. But yeah, it would be cool if Gov is able to, you know, garner more defenses than Richard or even myself. Because I think right now, in total, I have 3 defenses, which places me second or tied second with Wicked Soul. Richard's still on top. I think he's got 4 or 5 defenses. So I'm happy. I'll be excited to see what Gov is able to do with the belt. And with that, that comes to the conclusion of this video. So if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like, subscribe. Also leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought of this. And just honestly, anything's appreciated, really. That's all I really have to say. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.